to ensure that there's no, plagiarism of ideas in music. Since a lot of music is sample-based, or it's just in terms of ideas, the public will not be able to listen to the beats, and the producers will not be able to listen to other producers' beats. Only those who are under contract with us through registering to the website, in terms of, and I'm talking about the record labels, would be able to listen to the beats. And once this happens, we, as a company, would get a small portion of a small commission of the original advance sale of the beat. So we don't really have anything to do with the actual sale or how much money the beat is going to cost for the singer or the rapper who wants it. That's their issue that they can handle themselves. But we get a small commission of that, and the rest of the proceeds that they can figure out on their own comes from record sales or whatever else goes on in terms of advertising. The producer gets the rest of that money. And there really isn't any other website like this. The closest thing could be maybe MySpace or Facebook when you promote your music out there. However, it's really difficult to get the right people to listen to that, since there's so many people on MySpace, so many people on Facebook. The chances of a record label, coming across your music, which could be great, and that's the whole point, because there's so many independent musicians out there that don't have a chance to show their music to the world. And a lot of it is probably better than what we hear on the radio. So this is a good way to kind of spark a new, original, and way of producing music, and bring a lot of new artists to the forefront that we would have otherwise never heard. And that's my idea.
Great. All right, so I'm a music producer. Finish the sentence. You're talking to me and you say, you should go to beatmarket.com because
you will be able to showcase your music to those people who can get you the most money. And you can be featured on a really famous person's song and jumpstart your career.
The one question that popped into my head immediately was the issue of quality control. You said there's lots of great music out there, lots of great people making great beats. You're bringing them to the forefront, but inherently, along with all the great music, you're going to bring along a lot of bad music. So for me, as a record company coming to this website, how do I sift through it? How do I guarantee I'm not spending 10 hours to find
exactly
one beat?
Well, an idea that I had was to have a kind of like a panel of people that would kind of toss away the beats that we don't really think are that great. Maybe 10 to 15 people can discuss over all these beats and decide which ones we are going to showcase, because we aren't being exclusive to the producers themselves. We're really being exclusive to the record companies. We don't want other people to listen to the music, but we do want producers to be encouraged to actually put their music on the website. So whether or not it actually is shown to the record labels is our choice, but we are giving them the option to put it up there.
We talked earlier, and given thought beyond that one fee that you're going to get one time for the sale, a commission basically. Are there any other revenue streams that you envision?
Yeah. Well, we will be providing subscriptions to the record companies, so they would be paying us the fee as well. The producers won't pay us anything, but the record labels will be doing that. Because of our service, they'll be paying us probably a monthly fee, but nothing too incredibly astronomical. Just
And what happens if an artist, well, I guess you're relying on new talent, new producers coming to the fore all the time, because if someone sells 10 beats through you, obviously they're going to create a name for themselves and probably be going direct to the source. How do you keep new talent coming back to you if competitors start popping up or other entities decide to duplicate? What's going to keep you at the forefront of keeping the marketplace first?
Well, record companies have, there's certain artists out there who love to work with the same people over and over again. Record companies sometimes won't allow, or not necessarily allow, but would probably push an artist to continue working with a certain producer. And I think that constrains a lot of artists and gets them a little bit angry. There's Immortal Technique is a very famous rapper underground, And I just listened to an interview that he had a couple days ago, and he's pretty much talking about how he never wants to be signed to a record label because he never wants to be told what type of music he wants to make. So if record labels and artists want to start, working together alone without our service, then that's their choice. But I think that they have more choice with our website rather than having the record company go out on their own and find the certain producers that they want to use. I think we're going to have so much talent, so many new people. There's so many people who make music that you wouldn't even know. I know people who don't consider themselves producers, but they have music that they make in their basement that they don't necessarily think is worthy of the public's listening. But so many people would love it, and so many people would absolutely cherish it. So I think that there's always a lot of talent out there that we don't even really know about.
Sure.
So I think that there's always going to be a new influx of people coming. But I think also that the website could be so successful that even producers themselves who do have a name for themselves would want to use us as well. It doesn't have to necessarily be just unknown producers. It could also be people who have made a name for themselves. They can pretty much revolutionize the way that music is made.
So what are the hooks that would allow this to grow and spread on the social web? Is it contests? Is it user voting? Is it Facebook Connect? I mean, how's this
In terms of
going to
promoting the website
Sure,
itself?
yeah.
Well, Facebook, Twitter, pretty savvy with Facebook. I mean, my own music production team, we recently started promoting it. We're about to have 1,000 fans on our page, which is just a lot more than some really famous people which surprises me. But I think that it is really powerful. If you tell a friend to tell a friend, the numbers just skyrocket, and it even provides you with graphs so that you can see, how many fans you gained in this. But I mean, also I've always paid attention to advertising campaigns that other people have. Like you could do events with sporting events. I know that recently it's kind of died down, but I know Mountain Dew used to do a lot of events with and street ball, and that all comes together with music as well. There's entertainment for people, there's games, there's free giveaways, and you could really tap into that market as well. And I think all that kind of comes together as well. I mean, this isn't necessarily strictly hip-hop music, but that would be the main source of the people who want to do it. And that itself is not just music, it's a culture, it's a way of life. So I think that, overall, there's so many different ways that you can promote through that, through clothing, through, Facebook, through television, through radio, through college radio even. So there's plenty of ways.
Okay, feedback.
Presentation was pretty solid. You had covered most of the points. I think you thought out exactly how you envision this going. Once it hits the marketplace, you may realize some barriers or things to go on. I wouldn't say that you're not limiting yourself to hip hop, but there are so many other forms of music that you could tap into where people may want to get an arrangement from somebody or add something into their music base, or develop a whole. And I don't know if it has applicability to lyrics or anything like that for collaboration, but definitely the beat side is well covered.
I also think that your presentation was very good, very well thought out. You made sure that you hit each point with a part of your product. I would have liked to see you talk a little more about the interface. What exactly happens when a producer pops the music up? Does it disappear in a digital space, or can they, watch how many listens it has, or who it's gotten out to? Can they follow up on it?
I don't have a chance to answer that.
No, this is just feedback.
So what interface is happening between producers and record companies before a purchase is made?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I would love to hear a little bit more about the interface, since that is the bulk of your site. Thought you were very comfortable, really solid presentation, and I was in our last round of discussion. I kind of wrote up, I take names of startups and companies very, very seriously. I think there's a lot that goes into a name. Not only do you have a name that's cool, but it like you were saying, it leaves the door open to add on ancillary services and other types of things that you might be able to add on to your core model. I think that's really important, and I think you obviously had that well thought out, and you closed with that in your presentation, which I thought was nice, and also just great job with the Q&A.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Thaniil.